Hey guys, Jake Nikolopoulos here with episode number 5 of Road to the Universe. So this episode is a training video of last night's leg workout. So I did a pretty high volume hamstring and quad day. Obviously I always do my hamstrings first, as people that watch the series would know, and then I do my quads after that. So I still tried to keep it pretty heavy. You'll see after all of the hamstrings, after all of the quad exercises, I finished my quads with squats at the end of everything, and I still went up to about 4 plates for 12 reps. So it was still definitely a decent workout in terms of weight, but it was more the volume, and I'm feeling it today. My legs are completely wrecked today. So check it out. It's coming up now, and I'll see you at the end of it. Alright, let's get straight into it. So my first exercise for hamstrings was traditional laying leg curl. Now obviously I did my warm-up sets before this. I did probably about 4 or 5 warm-up sets. I like to warm my hamstrings right up before I get into the heavy work. And my sets were roughly around about 12 to 15. This has always been a really productive exercise for me, so long as I can feel the movement. In the past, I've gone way too heavy and thrown it up, and you know, I trained my hamstrings for years like that, and they never grew. So slowing it down, feeling the movement, and just keeping the tension. I've found with the hamstrings, I sort of treat it like a bicep. Just once I've got the tension on the muscle, I just keep it on there. So it might look as if I'm moving fast or too fast in some of the exercises, but I've definitely got the tension on the muscle, and I'm keeping it there. So sometimes I'll slow the reps down on different days and really squeeze it, but today I just wanted to keep the tension and keep it moving. So this seated leg curl is another really good one. I find if you keep the tension, my whole hamstring just fills with blood straight away after doing it second after the lying leg curls. I find I can really get a good contraction on it. It might not look as if I'm getting a good contraction, but trust me, I am. And then I did something to stretch out my hamstrings. I did a stiff-legged deadlift. Again, this is another exercise where I've gone really heavy on in the past, and it hasn't been productive for me at all. I only started to get the benefits of the stiff-legged deadlift when I slowed it down and really thought about pulling with my glutes and my hamstrings. You know, obviously I wasn't using a whole lot of weight there. I was only using probably about 40 kilos, but if I actually pull with my hamstrings and my glutes, you know, I can really feel it. And again, this exercise here on the Roman chair, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm just pulling with my hamstrings and my glutes. I've only just incorporated this into my workouts probably a few weeks ago, and I find that's working, doing a really good job at hitting the upper tie in my glute and my hamstring area. And then to finish off, again, another exercise for hamstrings I did just on the leg curl. This probably isn't the most ideal machine to do for this, but this is all I got in my gym, so I'm just making do with what I got. So it's just a standing leg curl variation, pretty much on the leg extension machine, and this is pretty much, it's the end of the hamstring workout. I'm just keeping the tension, just keeping it moving. But my hamstrings were absolutely wrecked by now, so I'm just trying to, not really focusing too much on a squeeze. I'm just trying to keep that weight moving. So that was what, 5 exercises for hamstrings, and that would be what I would normally do before I start my quad workout. So just the order of the exercises changes each time. So that's it for hamstrings. I put all of my effort into hams. And now whatever's left I'm about to put into quads. So always start with leg extensions. I've had some knee problems in the past. Last year I was battling with a patella tendonitis, and you know, when that flares up, it's really nasty. So I've definitely learnt my lesson. I've learnt that my foam roller is my best friend, and you know, stretching as well, mobility exercises, just all the little things that people forget about. You know, I incorporate them pretty much into my daily routine now. Especially a lot of my knee pain was coming from my IT bands, and just from the whole quad in general, was just pulling on my knee. So if you have knee pain, guys, I really recommend buying a foam roller. Spend 5 minutes on it, just really roll up and down the side of your legs, the whole quad. And you know, definitely it will help to relieve that knee pain before it starts to become an issue. Because for me, once it flared up, I had problems for a long time. So, and again, another exercise really good for warming up the knee is leg extension. So I always start with that. The first couple of sets, I really just keep it light and just squeeze it and flex it. And this is the working set. So I would have done 3 or 4 working sets. And I'm going for about 20 reps on these. Not really too fussed about squeezing the top. All I want to do is just keep the weight moving. You'll see I'm not doing any rest pauses with this particular workout. I'm just keeping the weight moving. So pretty much when the weight stops, when I can't move it anymore, I call that the end of the set. So these leg extensions, I did all of my sets on 20. Now it's not light by any means. I might have made it look as if it was light, but you know, I'm using a stack on my machine for 20 reps. So so after that, you know, I isolated the quads. I had a lot of blood in there. I want to move over to a squat. Now my squat of choice would have to be the hack squat. Reason being is because I've got a really overdeveloped teardrop part of my quad, and a lot of that had to do with my stance when I'm squatting. So I'm not one of those people that's lucky enough to be able to squat really close with a barbell when I'm doing free weights, because my body just, it doesn't want to go. I have to put my feet quite wide, and I find that just hits my teardrop. So on this hack squat, it's an awesome exercise for me. I'm able to put my feet almost touching together and go all the way down, all the way up. And I find that really digs in deep to my outer quads. And even today, feeling my outer quads, you know, I can barely touch them. So, and that's something that I've implemented as well, only recently, the hack squat. So, and you know, that's why I urge people to look at your muscles, look at your body, and see what needs the work. You know, don't just do a squat just for the sake of it, a barbell squat just because you can go heavy. If you're really lacking your thigh sweep, you know, choose other exercises. And then I wanted to still sort of hit the side of my quad a little bit more, outer thigh. So I did a leg press with my feet pretty close together. And like I said, I'm trying to really target that outer thigh sweep. And I'll just keep going as many as I can, no rest pauses on that stuff. And then the last exercise to finish the quad workout, and the hamstring and quad workout, it was a pretty big workout. I told you guys, I finished on squats, on barbell squats. So I started with 1 plate, and just to really just loosen up. You know, I'm definitely warmed up, but I always like to start, no matter what, every exercise, I'll start back on either no weight or a light weight and work my way up. Only because, you know, just trying to prevent any injuries. And if I'm changing the angle of an exercise, usually I'll start, you know, light again, because I'm going to be probably most likely recruiting different muscles to do the movement. So, and if those muscles are still cold, then, you know, I could get injured. So that's why I slowly work my way up. So I'm doing about 12 reps per set on my warm up. I did 12 reps on 1 plate, 12 reps on 2 plates. Now I've gone up to 3 plates a side. And I did another 12 reps there, and then I did my working set. So you can see I come down just about to parallel. So on this particular day, that's all I wanted to do. I really just trying to target my quads. I've already worked my glutes, I've already worked my hamstrings. So coming down to parallel, I find is actually harder work on my quads. You know, I can't bounce off my my hamstrings or my glutes and use them sort of as a bit of a spring to bounce back up. So coming down to parallel when I'm working just quads, I find is ideal for me. And then my working sets, I did 3 sets of 12 on 4 plates either side. So after all of the hamstrings, all of the quads, I'm still doing, 180 kilos to parallel for about 12 reps. So, gives you guys sort of an idea of the duration of my workout and my strength levels as well. Like, they haven't really dropped a hell of a lot. Like, if I squat at the start of my workout, I could probably squat, a little bit more than this. But even then, I'm not a really big squatter. I'm not really worried about the numbers. I'm more worried about slowing it down, keeping the tension, and just getting a really good quad workout. Not too worried about the power and strength side of things. And the reason I say that is because most of the guys that I've trained with in the past, they haven't really been that strong, but they've had huge legs. So, and then I finished on these sissy squats. So they're definitely not sissies. They're definitely not for sissies. They're hard. Sissy squats are a very, very hard workout. And then after that, had a bit of a stretch, and that was the workout. So that's the end of that leg workout. As you guys saw, it was a lot of exercises, a lot of sets, a lot of volume, and my legs are definitely feeling it now. It's only the day after, so usually 2 days after is the worst for me. So the worst is yet to come. But you guys saw how I squatted at the end of the workout. That's something that I've done for a long time, and I find that my range of motion is a lot better if I squat first. I can't get down low enough. I feel a little bit of pressure on my knees. So doing all the hamstring stuff and then doing the quads, I find that my squatting is a lot better. So I've just kept doing it like that. Don't get me wrong though, every now and then I will still come into the gym and do like a heavy squat workout where I'll pretty much come in fresh, warm up on the squats, and go for real heavy sets of 8 to 12, something like that. I wouldn't go below 8 on a squat. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to the Massive Joe's YouTube channel so that you don't miss an episode. You can stay up to date with all the other videos that the guys are producing. And I'll see you next week we're going to do another discussion type video. So same time, same place. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.